Oh, come on. Network error. What do you mean network error? I'm online on YouTube and I'm online on Facebook. What do you mean network error has occurred? I'm tired of this network error shit. Are we finally broadcasting? All right, it says I'm live, finally. Jesus. Every day there's got to be some shit. Every single day there's got to be some shit. Network error. Okay, well, I'm live now. It was telling me I wasn't live. Okay, here we go. From the WDWL TV multiplex, live from the Blue and Gold studio, with great anticipation, we bring you the pride of this station, the grumpy old man, and oh, the grumpy vulture. Would you like to take a bow? Oh, of course you would. Okay, don't screw it up. Don't screw it up. Get the banner up. That's it. Get the banner up. Take a bow. There you go. Make sure the banner comes up. There you go. All right. You only have to wear this another 7 years. Back in your spotlight, Mr. Double Disco Bar. Move this out of the way. Here we go. God damn. I hit start. A big sign pops up and says, network error. And then all of a sudden, nothing. So I clicked on the network error. The whole box went away. I restarted, and it took forever to start live tonight. Every night it's some bullshit. So how you doing, Kathy? My neighbor yesterday, Marianne, she said, I need to take my lawnmower up to the mower repair shop. Okay. I need help loading it in the van. Okay. What time? 11 o'clock. Works for me. Okay. So I had my coffee. I walk over, and she's installing a screen on her side door, or replacing a screen. And, you know, you got to get that rubber in. She goes, oh, we're going to have to do the mower tomorrow. Okay. Now, here's the situation. when her boyfriend passed, he left everything to her in the will. And I think that it's a transit van. I think it's a 2017. She has a gate at the end of her driveway, at the end of the house, so that she can let her dogs out. There is about an inch on either side of this gate to get this big ass transit van out. And you can't use the mirrors. So she tells me, I've got to clear all this stuff out of the side of the driveway because she's doing landscaping and everything so I can turn the van around. I said, why do you want to do that? Well, I can't back it out. I have to pull out. I said, Marianne, I can back that van out with no problem. Oh, no, you can't. I said, Marianne, if I could parallel park a super stretched limousine, I can back this van out of the driveway. Well, how are you going to do that? I said, well, until I get to the fence post, I can use the left mirror. And as long as I keep the van about an inch away from the fence post, I can back it out. When I get to the fence post, I pull the mirror in and back straight up. Oh, I don't think you can do that. I'll do it. I'm all geared for it today because it'll be my first time ever driving one of these new Ford Transit vans. I've had Econolines over the years, but I've never driven one of these. So today I was like, oh boy, only to be put off till tomorrow. There. There. You gotta know Marianne. Not to mention, she's into this holistic medicine. She can find a way every day I talk to her, no matter what we're talking about, to interject something about holistic medicine and my pain patches. And it's hard enough to get away from her. I mean, there's been times I've walked slowly. I backed down the driveway to the sidewalk, down the sidewalk to my driveway, and she's still. I love her to death, but sometimes she drives me crazy. Crazy. Well, it was nice to see Jenny yesterday. It really made my night, even though she's having problems. It was wonderful of her to stay as long as she did. I really figured it was going to be a hello and I'll talk to you. And although I think between you and I, it was like a therapy session for her. I think the more we went back and forth, I think it was good for her. My opinion, but she seemed to open up a lot. I just hope she continues on the right path. Especially the shit that she's gone through. Holy shit. But it made my night because I was starting to worry. I thought I'd hear from Nomad today. Although I wasn't on too much today. I actually cut my lawn. Mainly because with Marianne's lawnmower being broken, she asked me to cut her tree lawn. And I figured if I just cut her tree lawn and left mine shaggy, all the neighbors would go, what the hell? Although Marianne and I both got a good laugh because we figure my neighbor across the street is probably looking over at my yard going, God damn it, I wanted to cut that grass. Because he's been cutting it. So I probably ticked him off because he no sooner saw my lawn cut, out come his lawnmower. He did his. Oh, that was nice. That was nice of her to take care of Mom. Do you have, like, a lot of lawn? You know, like when Marianne was living in Virginia, she had a front yard that was like a quarter mile from the street. She told me the FedEx delivery driver and the Amazon driver used to hate delivering packages because she was so far off the road. Not to mention she had like 20 acres of pasture that had to be constantly. What, like an average, city lots are like 50 foot wide. And, well, usually a front yard is like maybe 20 by 50. That could be a pain in the ass, especially if it rained a lot. You'd cut the grass, no sooner, or you no sooner finish with acre number 5 and you're back to acre number 1 again. A never-ending battle of cutting the lawn. I always wanted a lawn tractor. But in the city, it's stupid. But I always wanted one. Now, my backyard here is a lot bigger than what I had when I lived down the street. And it is, for years, it was nothing but weeds. And it's a bitch to mow back there. So I just take my weed whacker and I'll whack maybe a 10-foot diameter circle and screw the rest of the yard. The hell with it. I have just a nice little area, sit on a lawn chair. But to mow the rest of the backyard, all the lawn services, they all have them big riding. It's ridiculous to watch them cut city lots. But evidently the one guy that does the lawn 2 or 3 houses down must have one of them, because that sucker turns on a dime. It's amazing. He'll get to the corner of the lot and that whole mower just... That must be what a zero turn is. He gets to the edge of the driveway for the neighbor, and that mower does a 180. Amazing. Just... And then he's lined up to make another pass. The next time he's out, I'm going to ask him, how much just to blitz my backyard once? Because I need... My yard gets any bigger, I'll have to hire a herd of goats to come in here. Although, like I say, I do a little 10-foot diameter just so I can sit in a lawn chair and read a book. And I found there's a little cubby hole storage area under my steps. I finally moved my landlord's shit out of the way to be nosy, see what's in the cubby hole. 2 really nice Adirondack chairs. I'm going to drag one of them out and sand it and paint it, because those are comfy. My cousin had 6 or 8 of them, and when he'd have a cookout, those Adirondack chairs are really comfy. I like them. And there was one in that cubby hole under my stairway. Well, there were 2. I don't need 2, just 1. If I paint 2, then somebody will feel like they're obligated to sit here with me. And no. 1. I don't need Mary Ann talking holistic medicine for hours on end. It won't take too much to paint them. I'm just going to basically, there's no peeling paint. So I'm just going to scratch the surface and get a couple of rattle cans and then I'll have a nice chair, and maybe I'll do a throwback show. I'll go out and talk to my GoPro. Not. I had an interesting day at the store today. I had to go up to Mark's to get a couple of things. So I get my cat delectables and cat treats. And I'm walking down the aisle with all the storage bags. you know, the Glad bags and God, there's an aisle full of different manufacturer storage bags. So I'm walking down the aisle, and here's this, how do I put it? Old woman of a certain ethnic persuasion, wrapped up like a mummy. Do we get the picture? And she's opening the boxes of storage bags, pulling them out. No. Open another box, pull a bag out, put the bag back in, back on the shelf. She opens 8 boxes. And doesn't buy any. But she's opened 8 boxes, pulled a bag out of each box, looked at it, and tucked it back in the box. Then put the box back on the shelf. So you know what Grumpy did. Oh. I put all 8 boxes in my basket. Finished my shopping and followed her to the register. So she puts her items on the belt. I take 8 boxes of storage bags and put them on the belt behind her groceries. Then I never use them. I grabbed the divider bar, put it on the belt, and put my 5 items on the belt. Now, the cashier is still zipping through her. The assistant manager is standing at the service desk. Now, this is a different one from the other day. So I'm motioning. Now, he's standing there at the service desk. We make eye contact. I'm going, and he goes, and I said, this way, come around. So he comes around behind me, and I explained to him why those 8 open boxes of Ziploc bags are on the belt. He says, really? I said, well, you got fucking cameras everywhere like Walmart. If you need proof, go look. In the meantime, so the cashier gets to the Ziploc bags. And the old lady said, oh, no mine. No mine. Grumpy standing there going, yes, yours. No mine. Yes, yours. Meanwhile, Tim steps in and goes, okay. She goes, no mine. I no buy. So Tim said, did you open them? And she's standing there. All of a sudden, cat's got her tongue. He said again, did you open them? I mean, open. I said, excuse me? I stood there and watched you. Maybe open one. I said, do you know how to count? And Tim's going, leave me handle this. I said, okay. He says, I will need you to step up to the service desk. He grabs all 8 boxes, puts them on the service desk. He tells her, wait here. He went in the back. Well, I know what he did. Look who's here. Hi there. Jenny, I had a bitch of a time getting on tonight. I get this notice, technical difficulty. Took me forever to get signed in, so don't feel bad about notification tonight. So, Tim must have gone back and reviewed the footage. And they got this neat system where they can transfer the footage to one of the monitors at the service desk. So he's got Miss, He turns the monitor around. He goes, is this you? Well, it's kind of hard when you're looking at Casper the Ghost over here to say, no, that's not me. She goes, maybe. You're the only one that looks like, King Tutankhamun in the store. What do you mean, maybe? Meanwhile, Tim is like, come on. I was having fun. So she's watching herself. He said, you have to buy these. Oh, no, me no buy. No, me no want. Wrong size. He said, don't make any difference. You open it, you buy it. She started to throw a fit. Meanwhile, I'm leaning on the service desk, giving her the stink eye. Finally, she agreed to buy all 8 boxes. Here we got, a living mummy in the store, opening boxes, and then that no me. What do you mean that's no me? You see anybody else in the store wrapped like Tutankhamun? Yeah, all she had was that, And there was nobody else in the store that resembled an Egyptian mummy except her. Things will get better, Jenny. Day at a time. Day at a time. I mentioned to Kathy, I said, it was like a therapy session last night. You seemed to open up a little bit more the longer we went, so I hope it did you some good. But it'll get better. I know right now, like me, the light at the end of my tunnel is always another fucking train coming to run me down, but eventually things will get better. Hang in there, dear. Like they say, one foot in front of the other. It'll get better. Bring out some of those old wacky cliches. It's always darkest before the dawn. Which it is. So hang in there. If if you don't feel like staying, you got my blessing. As long as we know you're doing okay. Well, that's good. You and Mary Ann would get along wonderful if you were into holistic medicine. Oh, she could talk up a tornado worth of holistic medicine bullshit. You know, personal problems suck. We all have them. Sometimes it takes us a little longer, to recover from it, but it'll get better. Just don't let it get to you. You and me both. Oh my God. That woman can drive me insane. She don't believe in normal medication. Like with my pain patches. Oh, yeah. You should eat, gargantuan weed with, dandelion flowers. Oh, some of the shit that she comes up with. I humor her. She has no use for doctors, modern medicine. I kind of hurt her feelings one day. I said, "You don't care for doctors or modern medicine?" I said, "Did you happen to give birth to your son at home?" "Oh, no." "Oh, okay." Modern medicine was okay when she was giving birth to her son. After that, oh, you ought to see some of the websites she sends me. Enough said. Although, tomorrow when we take her lawnmower up to the repair shop, she'll have a captive audience. Luckily, it's only 15 minutes up to the lawnmower shop and 15 minutes back. I ain't making no detours. I'll have my half hour of driving the transit van. There we go. Jenny, I used to love to drive. Absolutely loved, especially like when I worked for limousine service. Oh my God. I felt my ass was rooted to the seat. Now, oh God. I hate going on a major thoroughfare. Just idiot after idiot after idiot. And everybody's got a goddamn cell phone stuck in their ear. Oh, I hate. Luckily, like when I go up to Mark's, it's back roads. If I have to go to Save-A-Lot or Aldi's, I can get road rage in an instant. I'll tell you, in a way, it was a bad idea for Ohio to pass that new concealed carry law. Because I'm packing all the time, and it wouldn't be hard to blow somebody's window out, I'll tell you that. Just to get their attention, blow out the back window of their car. Maybe now you'll use a turn signal, asshole. And it gets worse every year. And you know what will set me off in an instant? If I'm kind and I allow somebody to pull out of a gas station in front of me, or to get out to make, go make a left turn, and I don't get a thank you or a beep beep, oh, pisses me. I want to make a U-turn and run them off the road. Is it that hard to say thank you? I didn't have to let your ass out. And you know what? I've turned into an asshole now. If somebody waiting to get out, I pull right in front of them. And then they're... Is somebody blowing their horn? If I take the time to let you out, don't I deserve a thank you? And a lot of these, they won't even look at you. They'll be looking straight ahead. Or if they get past me, and maybe 3/4 of the car, I'll blow the siren. Whoop, whoop. Or I'll get on the PA system, because I have a PA system. Thanks for the thank you, asshole. I cannot stand. Or another thing that really, really pisses me off. They'll be behind you, and they'll pass you, and then They're at a traffic light. One car? One car made that big difference? You had to pass me to get in front of me at the traffic light? Ignorant. Every time I go to a doctor's appointment, they're like, boy, your blood pressure is really up today. Well, yeah, I had to drive here. Oh, yeah. You're right. Those are the only ones that will give you a thank you. Semi drivers. The only ones. If I'm going down the freeway and I'll let somebody, you won't get a thank you. If you let a semi in front of you, they'll put the flashers on, beep, 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 to let you know. But, oh, I can get road rage in an instant. And I was never that way. Never. I just cannot stand inconsiderate assholes. So, I don't let anybody out. I don't care. Blow your horn. Tell me I'm number one. I would like to say to him, were you going to thank me? Well, then stay where you're at. Oh, I love that PA system. Oh, I love it. I'll tell him, thanks for the thanks, asshole. Then you get their attention. Although one of these days I'm going to get the attention of a police officer. They're going to be like, pull over. Oh, I can imagine. I'm sure they had some stories too. I bet you heard some beautiful stories. Having driven a semi for a while, believe me, they appreciate it when, and they'll show their thanks. Rarely will you find a semi driver that doesn't signal you some way, either on the air horn or flashing their flashers. If I happen to be like on the freeway at night and a semi will be alongside me and put his signal on, when he's got room, I'll flash my headlights. He pulls in. Next thing you know, you see the four ways go on a couple of times. Yeah, I bet they taught you to talk like a truck driver, too. Have you used this swear word? No. Well, try it sometime. Okay. There were a lot of times I'm trying to think of. It's I-76 and the 224 interchange. There's a pretty decent sized truck stop. A lot of times I would drive down there to eat, just to chat with the truck drivers. But I I would believe that, Jenny. I would believe that. Because if there's one thing, a truck driver don't care who's around. If they want to cuss and swear, they will. I had a buddy, and he would always call everybody a silly son of a bitch. We'd be talking, and he'd go, you silly son of a bitch, you don't know what you're talking about, you know. And sometimes the women would get offended. And he would say, well, sorry, that's the way I talk. Now, if you have to duck out, feel free. Yeah. Hey, we got the perfect group here. We're all on the same level. Who can outcuss who? Although there is one, I hate it when somebody constantly uses the F word. Now, if somebody slips, fine. But there are some idiots that just, they use it like it's a vowel. Oh, this effing this, effing this, effing this, effing that. After a while, you get tired of hearing it. Jesus, is that the only word you know? And what really will get me is hearing it come from a female. And these young girls today, they could outcuss a truck driver. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, I think you needed that move. But you know, sometimes you just gotta get it out of your system. Every now and then, you just gotta cut loose. Kind of makes you feel good after a while. Now, I've heard twat waffle, but douche nozzle? I've never heard that one. I've never heard that one before. A douche nozzle. Oh, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to wait. I gotta write that fucking thing down. I gotta write that down. A douche nozzle. Oh, I gotta save that one. WDWHENOZZLE. Oh, I got it. I can't wait the first time to use that one. Holy shit! I'm surprised you got a fucking liver left, lady. Whoa! Bourbon yet? Wow. Holy shit. I'm in shock. Oi, 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 oi. Good thing you quit drinking. Oh, man. That's that's nasty on the system. Wow. Although I was never a bourbon or a whiskey person, I was a Scotch drinker. Glenlivet Scotch. It's a single malt Scotch. I drank that shit for years. Now I can't. I looked at the price of that at the liquor store recently. Whoa! Yeah, my uncle got me started on Scotch. But Glenlivet was the only one I drank. I had a buddy that used to bring moonshine up from down south. You could pour that stuff in your gas tank and substitute it for gasoline. But he told me, he said it was made way out in the sticks in the middle of nowhere. A couple of guys had a still set up. Although I'll tell you what, he'd bring a mason jar. It looked like water. It was crystal clear until it hit your liver. Yeah, well, if you're sucking down moonshine, well, yeah, I was never much for whiskey. I was a Scotch person, but only Glenlivet. That's the only Scotch I drank. And I could tell. A Scotch drinker, believe me, can tell the difference. And if somebody gave me anything but Glenlivet, I knew right away. I was like, wait. I had to give that up. And the Heineken. Oh. I miss the Heineken more than I miss the Glenlivet. Believe me. But I still have, every now and then, like I told my doctor, I had two at New Year's Eve, and I still have four in the fridge right now. maybe one day, I'll get a taste, have one, and I'll be good for months. Because it would be too easy to start drinking my Heineken again. Oh, God, I love that shit. Matter of fact, I have my Heineken bottle opener with a magnet so I don't lose it. I have all kinds of Heineken signs and that was the only beer I drank. That was it. Heineken, that's it. Because Heineken is brewed a certain way. It's still brewed the old, from like back in the 1700s. But goddamn, $10 for a 6-pack. I can remember I could buy a case for $10. Prices today, gee, they're... I feel sorry for kids today when they reach retirement age. First of all, there ain't going to be no Social Security left. I don't know how they're going to survive. 40 years from now, a pack of gum will be $20. If prices keep going the way they are. I don't know how people with families survive. When I went to Save-A-Lot the other day, there was a woman. She was two in front of me. She had two carts. It was like $429. I hope she's shopping for a month. And she didn't have no Snap card. She paid with a debit card. I hope that was for a month. Because if that was like for 2 weeks, holy shit. I have a hard enough time feeding me and my cat. Spoiled asshole. He thinks every time I go near the bedroom, he deserves a cat treat. I come home from the store. I'm taking my jacket, my hat off. He's standing at the edge of the bed. Row, 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 row. I'm like, what do you want? And then he starts pacing the bed. Arr, 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 arr. And then he's got me trained. I go in the bedroom, I give him a cat treat. my buddy. And every single time, now he has this bad habit. He goes in and out of the bedroom at night. In and out, in and out, in and out. Every time he gets in bed, he's got to get my armpit and give me a massage. I can be sound asleep. Oh, I forgot to bring in the... I don't think I showed you the shirt that I bought. Oh, let me go get it. Hang on. I'll go get the shirt. I forgot I put it in the bedroom closet. Let me move this. And the reason I bought it is because it looks just like him. That shirt, that cat looks just like him. I had to buy it. I had to buy it. But he's a trip. And he does not miss it. Every time he gets in bed, and the motor going, and he'll do that for like 15 minutes, and then finally he'll go to sleep. And then an hour late, he'll get up, I don't know, patrol the house, come back in. Oh, that sounds cute. But You know, there's a big difference between a dog owner and a cat owner. And you try to explain to people, first of all, if people don't like cats, you're never going to explain to them. Although, I'll tell you, on Temu, oh, do they have a selection of cat shirts with everything imaginable. But I like the furry overlords, yeah. And I'll tell you what, they train you. You don't train them. Like, you know, I go in the bedroom to get the shirt. He's at treats. No, no treats. Wakes up out of a sound sleep. Treats? I spend more money on cat treats than I do on treats for me. But oh, like I said before, he was the rottenest bastard. I tried to give him back twice. I called the cat rescue. I said, this one, no. I can't, no. They kept saying, oh, believe me, he'll come around. Took a year. Although, when I heard the abuse story, because every single cat I have ever had has come from this rescue. That's all I ever own, rescue cats. Kathy, you would have loved the parrot my buddy's mother had. It was multicolored, you know, red and blue and yellow. He was fucking huge. She would let him out of his bird cage, and he would follow her around the house. And if she would get out of sight, he would stand there. Ma, 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 ma. And then she'd peek around the corner. And I'll tell you what they say about owning parrots, he did outlive her. She had him 50 years. And when she passed, her grandson took him. And he still got him. So that parrot's got to be 75 years old. But he's huge. God, he's a monster. Oh, I like the sound they make. Every now and then, I'll get them in the backyard. I love the sound they make. You know, it was funny. She went on vacation for 2 weeks, and my buddy watched the bird. My buddy had nasty smoker's cough. He'd wake up in the morning, cough his guts out. Well, she comes home from vacation, and in the morning, the parrot is going, he did this for like 4 mornings in a row. She rushed him to the vet. My bird's sick. Vet examined the bird. Said, your bird's healthy. Why do you think it's sick? He said, well, every morning he's coughing. The vet said, the bird's healthy. So she calls her son and goes, what did you do to my bird? He said, I did nothing to your bird. She goes, well, he's coughing all the time. And he said, well, yeah, I got smoker's cough in the morning. The bird heard me every morning for 2 weeks. It took her forever to break him of coughing in the morning. But he was, God, gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. He had to be 24, 30 inches tall. And he'd walk around the house. The bird was phenomenal. It really was. But when she come home from vacation and that bird is coughing in the morning, that is one bird you have to be 100% dedicated to, because they live forever. And like they say, most of the parrots outlive their owners. I don't know how she acquired him, but she didn't know how old he was. She had him 50 years, and he outlived her. Now, I don't know if her grandson still has him, but he had him for a long time. I'm going to have to email him. I have his email. I'll have to ask him if he's still got the parrot. God, that parrot would be almost 100 years old if it's still alive. But he was and talk. He had a vocabulary on him. Except for the cough. Oh, was she pissed. Yeah. If you get a parrot and it's healthy and you keep it healthy, they say most of them outlive their owners. And the problem is, a lot of times they get nasty because they know that this person that's got them now is not their owner. Not to mention, unless you have a video of yourself, they don't know what you did with that bird. And like with him, as soon as she got up in the morning, she opened his cage. And he had run of the house. But he'd follow her all around. And it was funny. If she'd go in a room and close the door accidentally, he'd be standing there. Ma, 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 ma. She'd open the door. Sorry, you know. The only thing that she can't do, and she had to take him to the vet to get his toenails trimmed, and they have to trim the beak because the beak continuously grows. So the vet takes a Dremel and, but that's the only two things that she can't do. She can't trim his toenails, and every so often they got to trim the beak. But otherwise, but every morning she'd get up, open the door, and he had full run of the house until she went to bed. And the problem that a lot of people run into is if they don't know the routine that parrot had, it will get nasty. But they are neat birds. That and cockatoos. That's another smart bird. A cockatoo has about the same vocabulary as a parrot. But they're neat too. Although there is one animal I would love to own. I'd love to have a ferret. Because ferrets are like cats on crack. They used to have one up at the pet store. And every time I would come in to get cat food, the girl let me play with it. And they are cool. He would crawl in my coat. I would love to have one. And like I told her, I said, this thing is like a cat on crack. I don't know if they get along with cats. But I would love to have a ferret. I really would. They are the coolest things. But they don't live long. That's the only thing. Ferrets don't have a long lifespan. Really? Ferrets, they'll hide shit on you? I never knew that. Well, I guess before you get one, you have to really study up on them. But I didn't know they did that kind of shit. Be my luck, I'd have one and it'd hide my remote. I didn't know that. I'd love to have one though. I think they are cool. There was a young guy, I'd see him at Family Dollar every now and then. He'd he'd have it in his frickin' jacket. He took it everywhere with him. I'd be afraid it'd get loose and take off. Be my luck, a goddamn thing and hide my truck keys. So they're like, I hear raccoons do that. They hide shit. I don't know if I'd get along with a ferret then. But I really would like to have a Bengal or a serval. That's my ultimate cat. I have seen more YouTube videos of Bengals and servals, and I'm like, oh God. There's a breeder down in southern Ohio that breeds servals. She gets like $2 to $3 grand. I was like, no, thank you. But I'd love to have one. And they're loud too. Oh. When they meow, they meow. That last of the coffee for the night. Oh, they're absolutely gorgeous. Every now and then, I'll watch nothing but YouTube videos of servals and Bengals. Fascinating cats. Absolutely fascinating. And smart. The one serval this guy had, it could open a fucking door. It could turn a doorknob. Because he used to say, if he doesn't lock the doors, the goddamn thing would get out. He'd open the door, let himself out. And the funny thing was, there was a guy that had one, and it was potty trained. I could see knocking at the bathroom door in the morning. I got to get in there. Goddamn cat. Sitting on the can reading a magazine, you know. I'm busy. But yeah, the markings, oh, they're gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. I ain't spending no $2,000 on a cat. Japanese mini truck? Yes. Cat? No. Yeah, the woman had a video. Goddamn cat going, sitting on the toilet. I don't know if she trained him to flush, but yeah, he'd go in, sit on the toilet, Have to fight the cat for the John in the morning. Hey! Be sitting there with a little cell phone, Googling things. It's a bathroom. It's not an internet cafe. Get out of there. I'll tell you what. I've never owned a dog. I grew up with cats. We always had cats at home. It was just a natural to have a cat. And I've had, matter of fact, the one before Boots is on my desk here in a little box. I keep them right there on my desk. Socks. Another tuxedo. That's all I own, tuxedos. He was cool. That's why he's on my desk. The neat thing about Socks, he knew if you were not a cat lover. And my buddy would come over. My buddy hated cats. Soon as he would sit down, Socks would be jumping on his lap, in and out of his feet, My buddy'd be like, get him off of me. I'd put Socks down, he'd jump back up. He knew people that didn't like cats, and he would not leave my buddy alone. No. My buddy'd come in, Socks would follow him through the house. He'd like, get that cat out of here. We likes you. He was a neat cat. He really, I miss him. He was, God, I had him, 12, 14 years. He had heart failure. He was up in bed with my son, laying on his chest, and next thing you know, just boom, and he was gone. He come down with him in the morning. He was like, oh. I called the vet. I said, hey, how much? Okay. They even took and they made a paw print in clay. I have that in my desk too. A little, like a coaster. It's got a paw print, and then they put his name on it, Socks. But he's on my desk, black lacquered box. I picked out a nice little box for him. And he, right in the corner of my desk. But yeah, he was perfectly normal all day. And he would take turns. He'd sleep with me or he'd sleep with my kid. And he got up on his chest, and next thing you know, he just fell over and was gone. The vet said, massive coronary. I didn't know cats could have a coronary. I couldn't believe it. He brought him down in the morning and went, well, I was like, oh, Soxy. So he's still with me. Can't pet him. Well, I could pet the box, but let me see. I'm pretty sure the coaster's here. Well, the box is here too. I got so much stuff around it. Oop, shut the flashlight on. Little dust on it. Let me dust it off here. There. Socks. I thought that was a nice touch. Soxy. So I got my coaster and my black lacquered box. Yeah, when he took him out to the vet, I said, he was sitting, purring away. My son was scratching his ears, and he just went. And the vet said, yeah, he had a coronary. I didn't know cats could suffer from heart disease. He said it's rare, but it happens. Shocked the hell out of me. Most of my cats, they end up going from urinary infections. Because when you get them fixed, they're susceptible to UTIs all the time. Because they don't drink enough water. But I don't have that problem with Bootsy. Oh, a cat loves water. He's the noisiest drinker. I'll be out in the kitchen and you hear him. I'm like, gee, gotta be so noisy. At least I broke him of the habit of playing in water. God, that cat drove me crazy. The only thing he wouldn't play with is his water bowl. If somebody left a lid up on the toilet, he'd splash every drop out of it. If I put a dishpan in the sink, although every now and then he'll piss me off. Like a couple of weeks ago, I went to make some tea. I wanted to make sweet tea. I filled a pan, put it on the stove. I turned around to get the tea bags. He had his feet in it. I looked at him, I like, what are you doing? Soaking my feet. That's the water for my tea bags. Well, I'm soaking my feet. Yeah, jumped up on the counter, walked over to the stove, put his feet in the pan of water. I'd like, get down. Right. Be safe. Take care. We're glad you popped in again. And it'll get better. Look on the bright side, sweetheart. Things will be better. They always get better. And you made our night again, so thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Now we got to get a hold of Wyatt. Been 4 days since Wyatt's been. And Mears, I don't know. Mears dropped off the face of the. Well, he is down under. I know Nomad listens the day after, but now I'm getting concerned about Wyatt. And I don't have any way of getting a hold of him. I'll have to email Nomad and see if he has any way of getting a hold of Wyatt. Because I can't remember what Wyatt's got a YouTube channel, I think. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, we gotta try to get a hold of him. And Mears. I think Nomad has Mears' contact information. I'm going to have to email him in the morning. Because we haven't heard from Mears in at least a week. And Wyatt, it's been like 4 nights now. And he's Eastern Standard Time, so all right. I'll look that up in the morning. Hopefully he has a email attached so I can email him. Yeah, Wyatt's Daily Roundup. I know I can never remember that. Although he said that he was feeling better. Oh, I just noticed. Linda's here. How you doing, stranger? Haven't heard from you in a while. I'm on same time every night. 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think, I'm not sure whether it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. I'm hoping I can get everything done in Studio One. I'm gonna broadcast from Studio One. and do it like I did before. The original studio with sound effects. Because I can plug in both of my Fire tablets, and that they have all my sound effects in them. And then I can run the sound effects through the mixer. See, I can't do that with USB setup. They do make a USB mixer. I ain't buying no more equipment. So, over the weekend, if hopefully I can get everything set up, because I had the whole thing tore apart with the old background, all the signs. See, that studio over there, I don't change. I have all them signs hung up. Where, this one, I swap out the background, so. Although, I'm not sure if I'm going to have the golden microphone over there. Because I've got one of the other good ones wired up already. See, that's another thing. USB microphones are easy to swap. XLR microphones are a pain in the ass because they have to run through a mixer and through the interface, and hopefully all that shit works. I haven't used it so long. Well, hey, that's more important, Kathy. That's more important. I'm sure she likes Grandma, so that's more important. Yeah, you've been a stranger, Linda. You ain't been around in a while. When you're not around, we miss you. You know that, don't you? You know, like Kathy and I were saying the other night. This is like everybody sitting around the kitchen table with a cup of coffee having a chat. Probably one of the few YouTube channels that operates this way. And we have a microphone that likes to echo whenever it wants. I can't figure out what the problem is, why it does it. We have a microphone that just decides, I'm gonna echo. And then it irritates the shit out of everybody. But that's all we do here every night. We're sitting around the kitchen table with a cup of coffee. I just finished mine. I'll start with a little subject like the Egyptian mummy that was opening Ziploc bags. There's something going around. Everybody is having some sort of ailment. I hope you're over it. God, kidney problems. Ugh. I'll never forget when I had a stone. I don't know what was worse, having the kidney stone or passing it. Oh, Jesus. When I passed that kidney stone, I wanted to rip the cabinet off the wall. Then the damn urologist. I want the stone. I have to go dive for it now. Good thing I had long tweezers. Well, I hope you're on the mend. I really do. We'll keep you in mind. We'll be thinking about you. Yeah, Linda, I'm the same way. I don't want to be bothered. Like when I was going through chemo, I come home, I'd shut my bedroom door, leave me alone. Did you make jewelry out of them? I've heard a lot of people make jewelry out of their gallstones. There was a woman on YouTube. She made earrings. She had earrings made of her two gallstones. Holy shit! Wow. God damn. Oh, Linda. Man, I feel sorry for you. Oh my God. Ooh. Oh God, sweetheart. I feel sorry for you. Wow. I wouldn't want to wish that on my worst enemy. Wow. I hope you're on the mend. I really do. Ooh, that's nasty. Oh, oh. I remember how goddamn painful that. Oh. Matter of fact, the doctor told me if I didn't pass that stone, they were going to catheterize me. Although a friend of mine had that, they put you in a giant bathtub and they shoot sound waves and it breaks up the stones. Yeah, he said he got like on a swing and they lowered him into this big tub. And then on either side of him, they had these big, like speakers. Nothing worse than UTIs. Oh, well, good for you. Did you ring the bell? Like I did. They tell you, okay, you're in remission. Go out and ring the bell. I go, ding, 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 ding. The nurse said, that's enough. Okay. We heard it throughout the whole hospital. I was like, well, hopefully I only get to ring it once. And 10 years for me in remission. I got the AOK in January. I have a little Chinese oncologist. He's about 5 foot tall. Jesus, it runs in the family? Wow. And the sad thing is, you don't know until it's like too late. Oh, between kidney stones and gallbladder, gallstones. But I've heard that a lot of people make jewelry out of their gallstones. Although there are some hospitals that won't let you have them. They want them for research. Good for you. 10 for me. I'm hoping for 10 more. Or 20. Be nice. Although, I'd be what? 20 years? 93? Boo. That's scary. I wouldn't mind being 93 as long as I could still drive. That's the only thing that scares the shit out of me. The state taking my driver's license. Screw them, I drive anyway. Can't get me away from my manual transmissions. I like rowing through the gears. Well, my flashlight's all charged. I had to charge up my neat little Temu flashlight. I carry this thing in my pocket all the time. I love it. But I like to put this on and go through the store. My red and blue flashing light. God damn, is that bright? So bright you couldn't even see red, blue, red, blue. It was only $1. It's amazing. Bright as hell, rechargeable, good old Temu. I love Temu. I'm addicted to Temu. Pissed me off. My background didn't come today. Was supposed to be here. Although, I'm not sure if I'm going to, because that was number 3. I really want to put them up in order. 1, 2, and 3. But they're only good for one time. Then the shock value is gone. That's the way I'd want to be, Linda. Be 95 and not look it. Although, get this. Okay, it's company policy. I go up to Circle K to get my Lawson's chip dip and a pack of cigarettes. The girl cards me. I said, "Are you serious?" She said, "Yes, I need your driver's license." I didn't know whether to be pissed off or take it as a compliment. Yeah, they card you for cigarettes. I told her, I says, "I'm old enough to be your grandfather." Company policy. Here. Okay. I have gotten some crappy stuff off of Wish. It looks good in the picture. So, because I would, matter of fact, I think I still have the app in my cell phone for Wish. Maybe not. Maybe I deleted it. No, it's still there. Wish. I got hooked on Temu. I've never had anything bad from them. But to each his own, you know. If you're happy with what you get, God love you. I just had some bad experiences with Wish. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. She asked me for my driver's license. I said, what? Company policy. I said, sweetheart, I'm old enough to be your grandfather. Company policy. She's holding the cigarettes. Company policy. Oh, here. Okay, here you go. First time I ever got carded for cigarettes. Like I say, I didn't know whether to be complimented or pissed off. Company policy. And Circle K is the only one that does it. I'll go into Speedway, go into BP, Shell. Nope. Circle K, driver's license. Whatever. Well, I think it's that time. Time for dinner. So we're going to play our outro. Come on. Give me a hard time. And it's that time. We know where, right here, WDWL TV, 7 p.m. And everybody, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Linda, don't be a stranger. We missed you. Jenny, take care, sweetheart. Kathy, see everybody tomorrow night. Have a wonderful rest of your evening.